All right, guys, so here's the scam. This is one that's close to my heart and very important that you know what it's all about because the victim is this guy. So this just happened this Thursday, right before Friday, which was Nevada Day. And I had a call on my phone, and they identified themselves as our local sheriff's office and our local sheriff on the other end of the line. He went on with his, radio background. So I believe they're trying to sound authentic, like they're calling from the sheriff's office. And they basically asked me all the information first. Is this Randy Hatada? What's your location? And the first question after I answered the contact info was, is there a reason why I didn't show up for my court duty, for grand jury duty last week? And I said, yeah, there's a huge reason. It's because I never knew about it. And he said, well, that's strange because we served you. And I said, you served me where? Because I've never signed off on anything nor had any paperwork correlating to that. And apparently he responded with, well, we served you at XX location, which was the old Expand Realty office, our old office, maybe 10 years ago. And he said they served me there and someone signed off on behalf of me with that serving papers. And, I already found that far-fetched, and I was a little skeptical. But, what if that 5%, 1% chance that this is the sheriff's office? I'm not here to get in trouble. And he said that I was in, I don't know what the words he was used, contempt of court or whatever, and that there was I don't know how the court system works, but that there was a order for my contempt. And he said they had struggled emailing me, so he'll text it to me. I received it by text. It wasn't well done, very amateur, and a lot of typos, etc. So there was a lot of red flags going on. But with this, he was talking very aggressively to me on the phone, professional but aggressive, not in the best language, and a lot of background noise. And I think they are doing that on purpose to sound like a sheriff's office. So, I explained to them like, hey, how can this be real? How could I have showed up if I've never been served nor had any communication, and on and on and on. He said, well, if you've read the paper, it's a $50,000 fine, and all you have to do is post a refundable bill for 10%, which is $5,000. And then he started giving me instructions on what to do next. He said I couldn't leave the phone because they had to continue monitoring me with what they called an OCC, which I'll share a quick recording with you. And I told him that I needed to consult with my attorney about all of this. And he said, well, you can opt to do that, but if you're opting out of posting bond, we're going to have to come and arrest you. And I said, well, I don't have a choice. That's what my attorney's there for. I'm going to call my attorney. And he said, okay, you're opting out then, and we're sending a team over to your property, over to my office right now. And they created like probably a false radio phone call to patrol, whatever they called it, and said, hey, we have someone blah blah that you need to come and pick up at our address. And he went on with that false radio phone call. They continued on how the OCC, so they call it, worked, and I'll share with you how this sound, but it sounded enough to treat it respectfully. And again, because of that low probability that it was the sheriff's office, I didn't want to mess around and be wrong, because I'm not about to get arrested and stay in jail 24 to 40 hours like they say. I don't have the time for that, nor do you. So this was the recording.
And have this recording for the court. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. For a second, now that I've advised you back and forth over your mobile device, What we must maintain is going to be called an OCC. OCC is an open line of trusted communications. What this does, it assures me that you're on your way down, not attempting to flee or elude or go on any foreign run. And if you are pulled over by any law enforcement or agency on the side of the road between your place of employment or your residence to my department, I can speak to whatever officer or agency that is that has pulled you over and keep you from being arrested on the side of the road. Do you understand what OCC is?
Yes.
All right, so that simply means we must remain on the phone with one another until you're physically here at my department.
So that went on and on for about an hour, and of course, I asked a lot of questions. And they said they normally don't reach out to people in this matter, but I seemed like a good citizen. I had no track record, and so they want to reach out, make sure there was no mix-up, and so they're trying to help me out. They then instructed me to head to my local bank. They did not want my account numbers or banking info or even the location of the bank. They said they don't need that, but they need to stay on the line with me because of their OCC, and they're tracking me by GPS. Eventually, after an hour, I found myself heading to to my bank just in case, because my attorney didn't pick up, and I was waiting for him to return my call, so I was buying some time. I had one of my assistants jump in the car with me, and in the background they were calling the sheriff's office to verify, and the other was calling, another one of my co-workers was calling the court system to check up the case number. Both came back negative, and in fact the sheriff's office said that this is most likely a scam. They don't do things that way with the justice system, so you can basically let that request go. While I was in the parking lot of the bank, ready to rock and roll, of course, just in case, because I'm not about to be arrested, and it's the time that I don't have to spend figuring this stuff out. My attorney called me back, and he said, hey, my paralegal was a ex-police officer and has a lot to do with this exact department. So she got on the line with us. She verified that this is not how things work and that it is most likely a scam. She had a good laugh. Of course, I had the scammers on mute while I was having this phone call. But had I not had two phones or someone by my side, maybe I wasn't able to verify and get online and do all the things that I did in order to stop this from happening, get the verification that this is false. They put you under a lot of pressure. And they said it was maybe 3:30, and they said if I don't get this done by 5 p.m., then they're going to place the warrant for my arrest, and that the deputies or whatever would be either at my address or at my house very shortly after that. So they put you under a lot of verbal pressure. They put you under a lot of time constraint, and of course your emotions are running. And I think what happens is that a lot of people don't have the time, nor do they want to get other people involved, nor do they maybe have an attorney to bounce things back on, and they fall for the scam. And I could see it easily happening to people who may be afraid of sharing the experience out of shame or embarrassment, and just paying the money. So here's how it went. They said I had to go down to the bank, withdraw $5,000 in cash, and go to a government bond kiosk, of which they gave me 4 locations to pick from. So they would stay on the line with me as I'm at the bank. I would withdraw that money. Then I have to go to that bond kiosk and then fill out the paperwork as they walk me through it. So, thinking this through now, I don't know how they would have collected, nor what a government kiosk bonding system is, but it makes me wonder if they were going to then ask which address I picked, meet me there, and mug me because I'm $5,000 liquid, right? So makes me really wonder about that. Now, reading into this scam, I've heard of people falling into this situation, and they were asked to create money orders or different ways to pay this thing. And luckily, in this case that I searched out, or my wife helped me search out, the money order people wrote a note on the paper and slid it to her saying that this is a scam. So they must be pretty used to this happening, being that they already had that experience. And if you look it up, and I'll share this on the post, there are shares of where this has happened, and a more detailed, more detailed analysis on what is has happened in the past. This is just my personal experience and my attempt to share with you what happened to me, so it doesn't happen to you. And this is for real, you guys. I mean, it really, like, as corny as it sounded serious enough for me to take serious, obviously. And I do consider myself educated enough to know better, but it was that little 1 to 5% chance that it was real, and I wasn't willing to risk making my mistake that it wasn't real, right? And then suffering the consequences. So hopefully this helps you guys avoid this specific situation. It's a real deal, and it's happening to a lot of people. So hopefully it's not one of you. And if this helped you in any way, or you feel it would help other people, which I feel it would help anyone be prepared for this phone call, share this link, share this video, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to continue talking about scams, because it's relevant and it's a value add to you guys, along with the Las Vegas housing market and what's going on in Las Vegas. I hope you guys like this. Hopefully you can prevent this from happening to you, and stay safe out there. Take care, you guys. Have a great day.